we have something we call a pressing partner, because they're two items that work together really well when you're ironing. And one is a nice thick piece of wool. And so we put that on the ironing board. And when I was making the capes for the last issue of Classic Sewing Magazine, I used this wool on the ironing board. I used it all the time. And then the partner to the wool is a pressing cloth, and this is silk organza. And so we sell these two items together because they're really handy to have next to your ironing board all the time.
So what is it about the wool? Because you already have a padded ironing board, so how can the wool do anything more for you?
Well, actually the wool absorbs the moisture and the heat. And then I was studying up on it a little bit, because I know that a lot of companies sell really thick wool pressing mats. And somebody said that that the heat actually bounces back up to your fabric, so that when you're pressing on the wool with steam, that then the heat will come back and it presses your item, your fabric on both sides. So it actually presses it irons out creases more easily, and then makes your seams very flat. And I like to use a pressing cloth. You can see through this for one thing. And so, for instance, this is a Jilly Atlanta PDF pattern called the Crisscross Cape, and haven't finished it yet, haven't put the buttons on, but it's lined. It's made out of wool. And so if I happen to be ironing this, I would put it down on the wool on my ironing board, put the pressing cloth on it. And the nice thing about it is sometimes when you press things, your iron might not be perfectly clean. And then, right on that ridge, you've got a dirty spot. Well, if you have a pressing cloth, it will not get on your garment. And the other thing is that it'll keep it from having a shine when you press on it. So then you're going to press on here. This iron's not plugged in, but press like this, and steam. Or the other thing, and I wanted to show you this. I actually ordered this from Amazon. There were three sizes of this. Is a mister. I think you can get it from a beauty supply place also. But this is the coolest. I don't know. You think you can see that?
Oh yeah.
Can you see that coming out? And it's not aerosol. I love this thing. It makes the most fine mist.
So that was from Amazon.
Yeah.
And then, but also, did it come three
Yes,
different
there were
sizes?
3 different sizes.
So like a travel size, or
that's right. Take it to class, that kind of thing. I love this thing. This is great. And so if you have all that moisture, you press it. It doesn't have to be on wool.
Which that's very interesting that you say that, because Cheryl Clapp has asked. She said, "I'm allergic to wool. What else would work?" Thanks, Sally.
I don't know the answer to that question.
But you're saying it doesn't have to be on wool when you're pressing? You're talking about the garment you're pressing.
Your garment doesn't have to be wool. Now, Cheryl, I can tell you this, that with the pressing mats, often they sell a cover, a cotton cover for the wool pressing mat. So I believe you could cover your piece of wool, you could cover it with a cotton, and you would still get the absorbency, and you'd still get the heat coming back up to your garment for the pressing features. I think that you could cover it with a cotton.
So it is important that it is wool, but the cotton cover might act as a median for people who are allergic.
Yep. So that's my little tip for the more that I'm sewing, then the more I think, hey, I need to tell you about this, because this really works. And in fact, this year I'm going to be 70, and so I keep thinking about that, how long I've been doing these things. But my mother taught me how to sew, and she taught me to use the wool for the base of the ironing board, and she taught me to use a pressing cloth. So, these are really long time old techniques, but they're very worthwhile.